Hello, guys. Hope you're doing good. This is TJ, and you're listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. And welcome to my review of Impacts Against All Out pay per view. So, this show was a lengthy show, lengthy pay per view, but still, it was a good watch, good show, a good wrestling, right? We've seen, and some average matches as I expected, but still, good matches were more here. I enjoyed this pay per view, but can be said like a pretty good pay per view. Maybe they could have cut the matches, cut the card to some like 7 to 8, but that's my thought. But still, they pretty much hold upon what they said. The ending was good. So the show actually started off with a tag team street fight between the Good Brothers and Sammy Callahan and Tommy Dreamer. So Sammy Callahan actually got attacked last week's Impact we saw by Good Brothers, and that was a story which made this match confirm. And Sammy Callahan didn't took too much time to find out the partner because Tommy Dreamer came up to him and he says that he wants to take out Good Brothers, so he wants to have a help to Sammy Callahan. Sammy Callahan reluctantly kind of agreed because it was the Scott Demore's plan, and this match was confirmed. So I didn't expect that this match would be an opening match, but still, I wasn't kind of excited or something for this match. But still, this was good. I mean, short that we didn't saw some build up or teasers that much. It was fast. It had pace, and Sami Callihan and Tommy Dreamer are accustomed to this kind of environment. We have seen their matches in, especially Tommy Dreamer's ECW run and all. So they were good here. So Tommy Dreamer, looking at him, he's so much gained weight as I look at him. Yeah, he's a big guy right now, very big guy. Yeah, very big guy. And Sammy Callahan and Tommy Dreamer, all of them performed very well. I mean, nothing to say much about. We as we expect, we saw Callahan and Dreamer actually hitting with a broom, hitting the ring bell to the groin area of Carl Anderson. That was fun. And actually, Doc also at a point. At a point, Tommy Dreamer goes to the backstage and came about with that uh, that dustbin, that dustbin that he brought about, and he dumped it over into the ring, and that got fair frying pan, kendo stick, chairs, and all that stuff. So there were some good spots here and there. One of the spot was Good Brothers actually setting up the table and hitting the magic killer to Dreamer, and that was going to end the match, but Callahan out of nowhere breaks the match up, and Callahan then finds his trademark bat, and nails Carl Anderson to score the pinfall win. So this was a back and forth match as we expect from the street fight, kind of TLC match. Okay match, average match, nice match. You can see nothing to say about much. So this was a match, decent match. So then we get to the another match, singles match, which I had many expectation and was very excited about. And this was between Joe Doring of Violent by Design versus Satoshi Kojima with Eddie Edwards. And this was a very good match. As Satoshi Kojima, the story of this match, Satoshi Kojima actually returned from New Japan to face his old foe, Joe Doring, and he's now in a team, in a kind of a faction which is kind of at a peak right now. Violent by Design, the strongest kind of, because they have tag team championship and they are picking up the victories every time, and they are looking very strong, and they are good. They are looking good. All of them are looking good. So Joe Doring had that power advantage, was Satoshi Kojima had that fighting spirit and had that experience advantage that he has. So Satoshi Kojima was. The story of this match in the in the ring, we can say that Satoshi Kojima tried to take out this big guy with his speed, with his advantage, with his forearm strikes, with his kind of New Japan style kind of strikes, chops and all. We also saw machine gun chops and all. But what Joe Doring was trying to hit the power moves on Satoshi Kojima by and controlling him. And whenever Satoshi Kojima was trying to get an offense on Joe Doring was having his power advantage on Satoshi Kojima. And at the point we saw Kojima reverses a DDT Doring in the ring for a near fall, and also we saw Doring with a crossbody for a close one, for a close call, for a pin. And we also saw Kojima actually had a cutter, and he was going for that clothesline, that maneuver, lariat. He hits the rope, but Doring hits a DVD, Death Valley driver, and clothesline combo for a near fall. And Doring then wastes no time and hits a spinning sit out bomb, and that was it. So, kind of a I didn't expect that Satoshi Kojima would be losing the title. So as I see, there's nothing to prove for Satoshi Kojima to be losing here. But because he just came, I think so, just to put on some eyeballs onto the team Violent by Design, to the faction Violent by Design, as well as rekindling the rivalry of Joe Doring. So that was the thing here. But still, a very good match, a very power versus. Fighting spirit kind of story that they told. So it was a good match, a really fun match I saw. So performance of both of them very good. So then we get to the third match, which was a five-way X Division contenders, number one contenders match, which was Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Rohit Raju, P.T. William versus Trey Miguel. So I had in my mind that this is gonna be a show stealer. I mean, X Division are one of the greatest thing of the Impact's own thing, and there's no other promotion that actually does better than Impact. And there's no other division that others have, like X Division or something. Yeah. So X Division, even though they are cruiserweights, but they had some kind of edge. That kind of edge, I don't know why, but I cannot say that these are the cruiserweights or something, because cruiserweights is just an understatement for these guys. Because X Division is only the name that we can say about these guys. So if these guys in the future go into another promotion or something, still we say that he was an X Division champion. So that is a uh, kind of a importance of that title, importance of the division, and one of the promising division of Impact Wrestling, and that's still holding up to this date, and it's still relevant. So talking about this match was a very good match. I mean, there were, if you closed the eye a bit or something, you could have missed the action, because that was the pace of this match. As I expected, Rohit Raju's performance was great, and I expected Rohit Raju would be picking up the victory. So the highlight of this match, and the layout of this match was like, is all of them were utilizing some at every moment they were having kind of one target for the two, kind of that kind of setup. If you're attacking one guy, you are also attacking two guys at that same time. Kind of actually saw PT Williams having the bulldog with a kind of a splash onto Chris Bay, I think, or Trey Miguel. Yeah, that was a very good. And Rohit Raju, when they were having submission, PT Williams and all, they were all having submission. They were trading strikes with the forearms, and Rohit Raju just come. He was confused to do, and he just kicks through all of them. That was fun, and it was a very lot. It was a lot of fun. This match, you should see this match. This was, at least you, if you have not watched the pay-per-view, you should watch this match. So this was the match of the pay-per-view, you can say. So that was good. But the result it was, I don't know what to say, because I expected a number one contender. As In the last we saw, PT looks for the destroyer on Ace, but he's placed in the corner. Ace looks for the superplex, but he hits a destroyer from the top, and that was great. And Trey takes everyone out, but Madman Fulton comes out, and he appears out of nowhere. And Trey Miguel is like, Moshe, as he says, and he was pushed around to the ringside, and he was laying out there, and he chases the ref out as Bay tries to fight him, and Fulton and all ganged up on Madman Fulton, and he destroys everybody with a simultaneous choke slam. And that was a very great spot I haven't seen. And it was like one guy was in the powerbound position, and one guy was in the body slam position. Other two guys were in the hand of a choke slam position, and he just slapped this five of the guys. these four of the guys simultaneously. That was great, man. I mean, there was a lot of innovative maneuvers and innovative innovative maneuvers and innovative skills that are being displayed by a lot of this whole all of these superstars, and these are the best in the division that they are doing. And this was very good. I mean, the result itself, you could have complain about. I mean, I complained about because Madman Fulton, ref then says that rules are no contest, and I didn't expect that because the pay-per-views are where we crown a number one contender. But still, I don't know. I mean, Impact doesn't do that kind of DQ or something. As I have watched Impact Wrestling, they did in the pay-per-view, and I had prior to this I had made a video on is DQ bad for wrestling. So I would be kind of justifying it as a good. No, I am not saying that, but still I expected some result. But ref rules are no contest. But let's see next week's Impact what will happen. If they are doing the rematch, then there's no point. That's the dumbest decision. If they are doing something interesting, let's see what they will do. So I think so that maybe we can get the simplest decision would be all these guys again, kind of a gauntlet match or something. You can do it, or you can have a kind of a qualifying match that as well you can do. So I don't want to these four guys just or out of these four guys and two guys just moving out of this division to entire another storyline. No, I don't want that. And they Impact should have the explanation next week, as well as something they should do for the number one contendership for Josh Alexander's X Division title. So this was the match. The match itself was very good. I enjoyed it, but the result wasn't that I expected. And if you will say that this I enjoyed it, but this was not kind of you can say the selling was not there. You could not expect a selling kind of thing in this exhibition kind of thing, because these guys are made to do this. And this division actually explains that. So you could not expect that these guys would be selling and just laying out, and that would be hurting this match all around. And that's a point for multi-man match. You should have the pace. That's why you are including people's wrestlers, you can say superstars. So you should have action going on. So that's actually okay. I mean, I can say. But we don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe Fulton is coming. Fulton is also coming into the into the exhibition. I don't know. He can, but I don't think so. He would be justifying that kind of range of exhibition, because exhibition is special kind of thing. But I don't think so. Maybe we could see that as well. So, anyways, this was a match. So Ace Austin was my prediction, but this was the result. And post match, he was pissed, and he dragged upon Ace Austin, and that's it. That was it. And then we get to the next match, which was Willie Morrissey versus Rich Swann. This match was good as well. The story that they told was Rich Swann was the underdog here, and he was a face. Will Morrissey, W Morrissey was a heel here, and he's a big guy. So Rich Swann, right off the bat, Morrissey was controlling, and the booking that controlling Rich Swann, and the booking that it's going for Morrissey is top notch. I mean, you could not be get surprised or something if in the down the line after Sam Morrissey or something, he could be challenging for Impact Championship. You can expect that. I mean, if you're pushing the guy for 2 straight months, having him won, having him winning, having that victory over and over in each and every week, having the rivalries, having the dominant victory. So that's what happened here, because Rich Swann was very hard to control this big guy. He tried to hit, but he was not. He tried to hit by chopping off his legs, that all the small guys do, to take out the big guys, and that he did well. And we also saw some selling. Selling was great by Rich Swann, and we also saw Phoenix Splash on the that 450 splash, which was kind of not kind of perfectly executed, but still commentator called it like that. So still we understood that that's 450 splash, and that was on the outside. That was good. And we also see he taking out the legs of Morrissey, but Morrissey was coming back with the angry and with the rage, with that unraged kind of unhinged uh, kind of character that he has. And Swan also hit a Phoenix Splash, but Morrissey then snatches him and lifts him to a standing F5. And at the point, he was also juggling around like Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. And I thought about that. Is he mocking Brock Lesnar or something? And he hit the F5, and it was perfectly, it just swinged around like a fan. Rich Swan just he flips around into a completely 360 degree and just laid him around, and Swan then flips out of a choke slam, but he gets booted once more to the spine. And this was also a story point here, because Morrissey was kicking out of the hell out of in the back, in the lower back of Rich Swan, and he was trying to hit that cutter, that uh, that that rope cutter that he does. So, but he Morrissey actually hit with a big boot uh, onto the lower back, and that was nasty, man. I mean, a lot of nasty and physical. This was physical. And Morrissey also hits a chained kind of power bomb, and Swan responds with the middle finger then, and Morrissey hits again with a running bomb, and he finally pinned. Ch- uh, Finally pinned Red Swan. And if you notice, he was a former world champion, so that makes him a contender for the down the line for the, as I said, for the world championship. So we could see maybe Kenny Omega or Moose or Sami Callihan, whoever would be the champion after Slammiversary could be get a challenge from W Morrissey. So at the next Metroid, this one would be losing, but I mean, booking was good. Booking distance is good. I mean, they are building up Morrissey, so that's good. Okay, then Morrissey gets a victory. This was a good. That was a good physical match, and a fun match. And then we get to, and after this, this was match 5. After this, the pay-per-view actually took a bad seat. I mean, wasn't excited about this match, Daniel Dashwood versus Jordan Grace, but surprisingly it was pretty okay. Pretty okay match, a good match. Jordan Grace and Tennis Dashwood, they are experienced wrestlers, and they worked out very well in this match. Jordan Grace with her power advantage, and Talent Dashwood with her cocky attitude and her resilience that he showed in this match was great here. And Jordan Grace actually put a lot of the offense on Tenil Dashwood, but still Tenil was kicking out of many pin attempts by Jordan Grace, and Jordan Grace at a point was getting pissed because she's kind of teasing a heel turn on Rachel Ellering. I mean, we can see that coming in a month or so. I think so. Maybe you can get that match. Jordan Grace versus Rachel Ellering. This time, heel versus face at Slammiversary or something. Maybe you can get. I thought about that. Jordan Grace would be attacking Rachel Ellering, because at the end of the match was an interesting thing where Grace actually slingshots into a rear naked choke, but Caleb, Daniel Dashwood's manager, distracts the ref, and Rachel Ellering takes out Caleb, but Grace wasn't interested. She said that you go from here, and I don't want any help. Jordan Grace says. This was the moment that she got distracted, and Tenel wakes up and wraps her up with a quick pin, and Grace hits a Michinoku driver on Caleb, taking out her aggression after the match, and she was pissed after getting the loss, and she was very angry. She was very frustrated, and this was not kind of a normal kind of that she's listening to Rachel Ring. She was literally not interested not liked what Rachel Ring did. But even though Rachel Ring actually did what did help Jordan Grace actually for not distracting the referee, and she didn't understand that. So this was surprisingly good match, I would say. It's actually okay, good match. But we have seen these matches before as well, so wasn't kind of that interested. But still, this didn't have any shenanigans until last minute. So in the last moments, this was a well worked match by both of the guys. So kind of passed through, but still as I said, the pay-per-view was kind of hitting, kind of having that backseat. Uh, and then we get to the sixth match, and before that we saw Brian Myers is mentoring Sam Beal, but Jake something said that you don't listen to this guy and you actually do opposite of what this guy says. And they have the face off. Maybe we could get a match next week, Brian Myers versus Jake something. So then we saw to the match six, which was for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. So this was between Susan and Kimberly versus Fire and Flavor. So talking about this match, Fire and Flavor, they are doing great. I didn't thought about that they would be losing the title to Susan and Kimberly. I don't. I don't think so. They are a worthy contender, worthy for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship currently. I mean, you can say, and they really have that dissension kind of going on. They really don't have that cohesion in the tag team. While Fire and Flavor is on fire, and they have a whole lot of momentum that they are going with. They have racked up the victory over and over again, and they have defeated Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering over and over in a weekly episode in pay-per-views as well. So they are confident. So this was the work. This was a well-worked match. I mean, nothing to say wrong about, but. Uh, not kind of a nothing kind of a special or something that we expect, but Fire and Fire were a well worked match. Kimber and Susan actually tried to control Fire and Flavor with their offense, but Fire and Flavor was lot had lot of cohesion than 100 or thousand times cohesion better than Susan and Kimberly. So that gave them the victory. And as at the end, Tasha lands a tag and hits dropkick on Kimberly. Kimberly, she heads back up for a frog splash, and Fire and Flavor retains with that frog splash. And this was the match. Nothing to say about. As always, Fire and Flavor is doing great, and I think upon they will be having a very good title reign, and they're doing really great. And one thing I want to see is that have some new challengers for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship, because they are really trying. Because Jordan Grace, Rachel Ring, that kind of is boring right now. We have seen that, and Susan and Kimberly, no, I don't think so. They are the team. Uh, I don't know where the hell is Taylor Wilde now. She's been out for 2 to 3 weeks now. I thought about that she would be returning into this pay-per-view, but still she wasn't there. I mean, I was expecting she would be the next challenger in this for the Knockout Tag Championship, but still we didn't see that. We are going to see with the Rosemary that we saw in this match. Next after this match, actually, that was a match. That was a match forward. So this so I think so that maybe Rosemary and Havoc could be having a tag team situation. Maybe they would be the new tag team to face off against Fire and Flavor. So they can be a very daunting and good challengers for Fire and Flavor. So that was a fun match. I mean, this was all fun match, not kind of a very good match, but still, but nothing new here. So that's why I thought that kind of took a back seat, kind of matches that we have seen in the Impact show here and there. So that was that. So next we get to the match, Impact Tag Team Championship match, which was between Decay, Black Taurus, and Crazy Steve versus Violent by Design, Diener and Rhino, and they are the tag team champions. So Diener and Rhino had that call your shot, and they actually won the tag team championship at Under Siege after Under Siege after Under Siege pay per view. Fall out of that Under Siege pay-per-view at Impact show. So then we also this was the championship situation, and Decay actually had some face-off while they were cutting the segments. That was a story here, and that made this match confirmed. Black Taurus and Crazy Steve versus VBD. So talking about this match was a good match. I mean, Black Taurus, especially Crazy Steve, was was the MVP of this match. He was very good in this match. I mean, his maneuvers, his aerial maneuvers, his quickness, his speed was so fun to watch. Another fun match, I would say. And Black Taurus, of such a good beefed up size, he was really doing great, and he looks like kind of a, ripped off version of. I'm not copying, or I'm not saying ripped off. They are their own team, but still, he just looks like. The Viking Raiders. I mean, if it is the Viking Raiders copied DK, or DK has copied Viking Raiders, I don't know. But still, Black Taurus looks like, and his whole appearance looks like Viking Raiders. And he had a lot of athletic, and a lot of athletic maneuvers as well. And it was great to see big guys doing that kind of thing, and some big guys does it well and it looks good. And as I said in the as in most of my review, like Prime Cage does it well, and Black Taurus does it well then. And also, the one who doesn't do well is Lance Archer. It doesn't look good on him. I don't know. He walks on the ropes and all. I set up on the AEW Double or Nothing review against a Miro match that they had. So, and another very good another good match, a good tag team title defense, where Black Taurus and Crazy Steve were really getting close to VBD. They were really having a submission kind of submission trap by Crazy Steve onto Diener, and at a moment that had a drama, but he had the leg on the rope, and finally broke up. And in the finish, we didn't. I expected a gore from Rhino, but we didn't see that. And in the end, we saw Rhino breaks up the pin and takes out Taurus. Steve hits a cannonball in the corner, and then Levi talks to him, and Rhino chops him down, and Diener hits his DDT to retain the tag team belts. Diener DDT, that is his finisher. So Black Taurus was out. That's why Black Taurus Black Taurus was out. So that's why Crazy Steve was the one who took the pin. So that was a solid, good tag team match. Nothing to say wrong about. I enjoyed this match. So after this, after 2 3 moments, that was kind of a pretty okay, two good matches. This was getting to very good. I mean, fun, solid match. I mean, just kind of a just kind of a step up to the rating, I would say. This match was like that. So then we get to the co-main event, which was Impact's Knockout Championship match between Rosemary and Deonna Purrazzo. So Rosemary, actually, we also saw a video package. Rosemary actually got the victory in that 10-man women's tag team women's match that we have seen prior to this in the show, Impact show. So that was a situation where Deonna Purrazzo actually tapped out, I think so, tapped out or was passed out, and Rosemary got the victory on the champion, and that was the scenario which played out this championship match. And this I expected this match to be good, and this was a very good match. Rosemary and Deonna Purrazzo worked out very well, and in the beginning, we saw Rosemary takes out with some sling blades and hits upside down in the ropes. And Diona actually tries to traps her submission kind of wrestling that she has, traps her Rosemary's arm, the corner structure, that ring post, and that was the story here. She was really trapping her arm, and she damaged her arm to the point she was not able to move her arm well, and that was very negative for Rosemary in this match, and that took a lot of momentum from her in this match. And they also collide with clothesline, creating an opening for Rosemary in the mid of this match. Diana was working on the arm and applying joint manipulation. They exchanged grappling positions on the mat, and that was great. And this was a very good match, a wrestling clinic, and some great drama where we saw Rosemary actually picking her up while Diana actually kicked her, and that was intimidating, and that was kind of a drama that she brought about. Rosemary finds a rope where because of that armbar she had, blocked upon. So Diana Purrazzo really did the very good strategy here, taking out her arms to set up that Fujiwara armbar, her finisher. So that was a good strategy that was being laid out by Diana Purrazzo. So a very good story that was being told by both of the both of the knockouts here. And Diana traps her Rosemary's knee brace, and that was a good story as well. I didn't thought about that she had a knee brace. She was taking out the knee brace, and ref said I would disqualify this match, and she just throws away her surgical that that knee brace, and then we saw Rosemary's kicked on by the leg as well, but leg as well. And this was the point. She sits up and she hits a spear for a near fall in the last moments, and out of nowhere, Diana Purazzo hits a pile driver, and that wasn't the finisher. She didn't tap out, so they really saved Rosemary from that kind of a tap out or a submission kind of victory. So Diana hits a pile driver to retain the belt. So very good match between the two of the best knockouts in the Impact Wrestling. So Rosemary uh, is the had the title before, and Diana Purrazzo is doing very well. And the only thing Diana Purrazzo is not that good is in cutting promos. She's not good on mic work that much. So that's a down point for Diana Purrazzo. She cuts well, she does says well, but her sound, her voice doesn't match up with the character that she's portraying. So I had said about this in the prediction video, so that's what I think about. So really good story that we targeting the arm and the leg, and that was a good major highlight of the match story that we got. So then we get to the Impact World Championship match, and this was not in the Impact Zone. And as confirmed, this week's Impact, this was on the home, and they were showing in the pay per view. In between the pay-per-view, the Daily plays Jacksonville shot, and they are going to enemy territory. So they are really selling at that invasion storyline that's going on, and the match and the ending that really had some great things set up for kind of expecting what is going to happen. And this was the kind of ending that we have never seen. I mean, little we had expected that this would happen. I mean, the ending of the show was really good. So talking about this match, not Moose had the character where he's over, not a kind of very overconfident, but he was confident enough to take out this to the Kenny Omega, because he's a power guy. He's the he had that figure. He is the athlete. He's the wrestling god, as he says. And right out of the bat, the introduction was created by Justin Roberts, and he really did very good selling for Kenny Omega's introduction, and that was great. And Tony Schiavone, Don Callis, and Scott Demore were in the commentary. The two negatives, I mean, in the match presentation was the commentary, as well as if this had the fans there. I mean, if they would have brought the fans, this place would have been erupted, man. They could have been tried that. I mean, you have bring about the fans, you could have done this. I mean, they could not bring a guy kind of a they could not bring a in a taping and have a tape, and definitely that would be spoiled. I mean, I know that because of that kind of era that we're living in. But still, if they had, and obviously the fans will not come back for a one match thing, but still, hardcore match maybe would have come. I mean, something extra fans should have been there. It was kind of an empty. There was such wrestlers. There was only the wrestlers of AEW, I think so, and the dark wrestlers, the elevation wrestlers. So that was a negative point, but still the match, man, that match was very good. The Omega was trying to play the dirty game and gain an early advantage. Moose shows great power and batters him in the corner, and Omega looks to hit that one winged angel, but he was not able to pick up this guy. Such was the weight, and such was the figure of this guy. That's why he looks like a Terminator, and he flips at a point. He flips, moves over to the outside, and he goes for that. He goes running to that barricade. But this was a turning point of this match where he didn't hit the barricade. He just jumped over to the chairs that was on near the barricade, and he hit the shoulders. So that was a point here, and. That was the storytelling here. And Omega then attempts a moonsault, but Moose skips up and hits a standing moonsault to counter that. And Moose also works on the back, whipping him into turnbuckles repeatedly. Moose also sent him to the barricade as well, flies off and crashes into the chairs. So a lot of very good storytelling right there. If you have listened what I said. So Moose, that was a turning point, as I said. Omega works on the damaged shoulder that he had because of that jump that he made over the barricade, and he hit the concrete. And Moose fights back but gets caught in a flying armbar. Moose powers him up into a, so lots of technical wizard angle as well from Kenny Omega. That was great. Moose powers him up with a power bomb. Moose nails a drop kick in the corner. Moose hits a go to hell as well for a near fall. So at the while going to the end of this match was getting excited. The pace was coming, and that was really getting into it. This match was getting into that high gear, and it was really fun to see what will happen next. And Moose hits a snapdragon and two V triggers, but kicks out at two. So this was a point where Moose was getting was getting uh, some kind of not able to get that offense from Kenny Omega, because he was getting into that. He was draining out. And we also saw Kenny Omega actually faking an injury or something, and uh, he hits a V trigger, and Omega hops in with another V trigger, but gets caught with a Spanish fly from the top, and that was great. That was good. Moose looks for the spear, but catches Hebner instead, and this was a controversial point in the match, as Omega pulled him in while he was standing to receive that spear, and he just pulled him, Brian Hebner. So Brian Hebner, they said introducing the referee is Brian Hebner. I smelled a little thing that maybe they could do something like kind of not exactly same kind of Montreal screw job, but still they could do something of interesting thing. And AEW likes to do, but it was not kind of that, but it was another kind of angle that played out. And then we saw ref was out. The Young Bucks hit the ring and super kick moves, and they again double super kick moves, and they hit the BTE trigger. The Bucks assist moves up onto Omega's shoulder, and the rest was business. And he hit that one being Angel, and Omega retains the championship. And they were celebrating, and this was unexpected. I didn't think about. And lights go out, and it was Sammy Callahan. Sammy Callahan's music hits, and he appears in the ring, and he takes everyone out with the bat. And Callis comes out, and he just says. He threatens him like uh, as his boss, and he says that if you do something you will be get fired. And he was at a point he was getting out, but he took the chair from the chair from the under the ring, and he was getting into the ring. And I think he hit the chair. I think Kellen grabs the chair, and he looks to do what he did to Eddie Edwards. Callis fires him as Demore gets up in a rage, and he didn't do anything. He was going to hit that with. He goes to hit Omega with the chair, but Don Kelly screams out and he says, "You're fired, and I'm the executive vice president, and I am the one who decide, and you did what you're not supposed to do," as he says. And Scott Demore, and he just was running behind Don Callis and was like, "What the hell you're doing?" kind of, and they didn't have an explanation, and they just ended the show. That was kind of a very cool ending. I mean, that had some many great questions. I mean, what's next for Sami Callihan? Then Sami Callihan is if he's fired, so is Scott Demore don't have any decision or something on the firing and hiring of the talents of Impact Wrestling, or is the Don Callis is the one, or maybe they can what they can play out is maybe we would have some match. I mean, they would make this kind of a match. If you lose this match, you would be fired from this company, as well as you would not get the Impact Championship as well. So that scenario can be played out in this Slammiversary Impact Championship match. So now that Sami Callihan is the next challenger for the or the and we cannot rule the one thing out, that maybe Moose can also I mean, you cannot see Weasel into this match, because he certainly have some good points, because it was a interference where ref was laid out, and interference from Young Bucks. That was the reason. So maybe we can get triple threat with Sami Callihan. So that as well, Sami Callihan uh, stipulation as well. If he loses, he would be out of the company, and if you win, you would be winning the Impact Championship, as well as you would be reinstated to the roster as well. Maybe they can play out this thing. So triple threat match. I mean, nothing to say wrong about. I mean, I'm more interested to have triple threat. I mean, I've been saying that three-way matches I am bored about. I say that, but Sami Callihan versus Kenny Omega. I mean. I don't think so. I mean, it would be good match, but still, there's still something missing, kind of thing. So having Moose or something can do that. Maybe we can see Will Morrissey as well, because he is in that contender as well, as he defeated the former world champion Rich Swann. So he's in that conversation as well. So maybe we can say full fatal four way as well. So that would be great as well. Make it a fatal four way or something. That would be kind of a last time also was kind of this kind of multi-man match for the Impact Championship. But this time it's way different. It's the forbidden door is open, and the match was great, and the match was great. It had the storytelling that it was certainly slow. It built it up, and at the end it had the pace, and the ending was surprising. And I had felt about Kenny Omega would be retaining some with some shenanigans, but at the last, that firing and all, Sami Callihan coming up, I didn't expect that. So that was this show. This was a good show. Opened it good, and ended very well. This was a good show, good 3 hour. I mean 3 hour show, 3 hour pay per view. So was long, as I said, was lengthy, but still they hold it up, and all of the matches were good, except that it's a one match, I think so, that actually didn't think about that. That should have been there, that Jordan Grace. But still, if you think about that match was also good as well. Yeah. So and Susan and Kimberly Fire and Flavor as well. So that's a championship match. So that's a championship. They are defended. So that's the explanation there. So anyways, I'm not nitpicking here. So a very good pay per view, a very fun pay per view, entertaining pay per view. So that's it. Do tell your thoughts on this pay per view, and what do you expect now in the Slammiversary card for the main event. Please tell your own thoughts on the pay per view as well in the comment section below, and be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.